I hope that you guys are all doing very well tonight or today whenever you're watching this. Hopefully this will be a quick video, but as you can tell by the title, I want to do kind of like a little bit of a review and kind of a talk back with you guys about the two movies that have been taking up everything in the entertainment industry right now, in the world. And those two movies are Oppenheimer, which is by Christopher Nolan, and Barbie by Greta Gerwig. I hope. Let me know in the comments if you guys have seen these. If you are going to, feel free to watch this video. I think this video will have some spoilers, so if you haven't watched yet, don't check this out. But I will tell you which one was my favorite at the end of this film. Or at the end of this. I won't do like too big of spoilers, I don't think. And if I do, I'll let you guys know in advance. But yeah, let's just talk about it. I did the whole double feature thing with Oppenheimer and Barbie. So today, what I did today, I live in LA. I went to the Chinese theater with a group of friends. We went and saw the 2 o'clock showing of Oppenheimer. And then we got out at 5. It was like a 3-hour runtime long thing. And then we got we went to the Grove and went to the Cheesecake Factory. I got me a big hearty salad and some cheesecake, and then we saw Barbie at 8 p.m. and I just got back and now it's midnight. So I was thinking about making this video tomorrow, but I think I'm gonna lose all my thoughts about the film tomorrow because I'm working. But let's get into it. Overall, they were good movies. Let's start with Oppenheimer first. Let me know in the comments down if you disagree or agree. Y'all, I thought it was really long. I thought it was a very cool story to tell. It's about the atomic bomb and the creator Oppenheimer and like his whole story about it. The only thing I have issues with, y'all, is like literally, and I don't know if you agree, but like movies that talk so much and have to explain so much a story to you, to the fact that like the entire movie then is just all dialogue, are not my favorite films. I hate films where it takes a lot of energy to try and get the foundation of what the story is going to be. I hate that it takes like 30 minutes for the audience to understand who this character is, what they're dealing with, what their struggles are, what their goal is. It just drives me nuts. I think a lot of the best movies, in my opinion, stem from, and just so you know, I'm a screenwriter, I'm in the industry, so I'm like, I think about this a lot too, but my favorite movies are movies that you get the gist. Every story sets up like what's gonna happen, and then you have moments where you can kind of like rest and just live a little, where you can just kind of be in the world and exist, right? So you have the stakes and you can just exist. Those are stories I like. I like stories that have breath, where you can breathe a little bit, where you get to kind of like really explore the world and how you feel in it. The highs, the lows, in betweens. Oppenheimer, all it's doing for the entire film is basically just talking to you and talking to anyone around, describing what's happening. Basically being like, this guy really he sees things, and then it's like him getting his new jobs, and then there's all these weird timelines, as Christopher Nolan does. He fucks with time a lot. There was a ton of music. Did you guys realize that, like, and it might be because I'm doing my short film right now and I'm focusing on music, but like the entire freaking film was all music, which, you know, might be really cool, but I also thought it was very, it kind of, I don't know about you, but it pulled me out a little bit. It felt very much like everything was blending together, which I guess is the point. And then when the bomb happened, the music cut, which I thought was a really cool choice. But overall, I was just I thought it was lackluster. I wasn't really feeling it. This film, I think I gave on like Letterboxd like 3.5 stars out of 5. There were some really good moments. I thought all the women that performed, Emily Blunt, Florence Pugh, they They did really, really well, and I felt like a lot of empathy and sympathy and caring about those characters. But overall, all the other characters I really didn't connect to. I didn't care about. Like, I didn't care about the main character. I didn't feel bad for him for creating the bomb. I just didn't feel like I cared about anything at the end of it. Which is a tale for me. If I don't care about the characters, or if I don't feel like I learned anything besides facts, like if I don't feel like I was emotionally moved at the end of a movie, it's not a good movie in my opinion. You can learn about all this stuff via books and via other platforms, but for movies, for me, I feel like, you know, you're in a space, you're using music and sound and visuals. It should help you cathartic and feel something. That's what I think a movie's job is all about, to make you reevaluate life differently. And honestly, I went in being like atomic bombs are bad, and I left being like, yeah, atomic bombs are bad. No change. I did think it was really cool, some of the artistic choices they had, where there was like a close-up and then you saw like the background kind of moving when he's like telling all the crowd, and you know, they're all silent. I thought that was very, very cool. And yeah, and I thought what was really interesting was actually him getting entrapped into being a communist, which was really interesting. I did learn a lot about his life, so I thought that was very cool. But I did say to my friend, you know, this is about atomic bombs, and I kind of wish it was done in a way where we kind of learned what an atomic bomb even was. What we learned the science behind it. We learned how crazy hard it was to create it. We didn't. It was so stupid. We literally, like, it was a science movie. Like, we were learning all about the science and like seeing the struggle, but we weren't along the ride. We didn't understand why it was difficult. We just understood that it was difficult. Like, and it's frustrating because there's just all this talk about like, oh, it's so difficult and blah 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 blah, and I get that, but like, it would have been so much cooler if you like try to explain it to us, because then we would have cared a little bit more about when it was done. It just fell flat. And honestly, there are some moments where Christopher Nolan, he wrote it, like, literally just feels like he was trying to have these really intense moments, where you really were supposed to like feel for the main character and feel the guilt, and it just fell flat. I just didn't care, because you know, you would watch it and you would be like, oh yeah, he must feel really guilty, and then you'd have this montage of like him seeing dead bodies and flesh and all this, and I was like, dude, yeah, like we all know, like we all know the devastation. Like, you don't need to show it to us. Maybe give us something new besides it just being dead people. Why don't you just make it something more personal? Like, what did he lose personally? Not just thinking about that, right? Maybe he lost his connection to humanity. Maybe he felt like he couldn't connect to anyone, and we kind of got that when he was like blocking everyone out, right? I don't know. I just felt very on point. But there were really good moments. I mean, I'm kind of giving you all the negatives, right? Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts were. I left just being like, that was a long movie. I'm glad it's over. I'm ready to eat. I thought the time messing up was really actually pretty cool. Robert Downey Jr. was really awesome too, but then again, I kind of felt like things were wrapped up, but then they would take really long to fully wrap everything up. That's just how I felt. So I did 3.5 stars for that. Let me know in the comments down below if you totally disagree or if you sort of agree with me. What was your favorite parts? What was your not? And then let's get into Barbie. So Barbie. I saw Barbie at 8. I really had low expectations for Barbie. I really thought it was going to be a very, you know, surface level movie. Basically just like super simple, fun, no takeaways. I was sort of right and I was sort of wrong. Barbie, it made me feel more than Oppenheimer, which is hilarious. There were moments where I could have cried. It didn't get me to that level. I think that's why I don't rate it to the full 5 stars. But it was funny. Didn't take itself too seriously, and it kept you on your toes. So something I really enjoyed was with Barbie, you think it's gonna go one way, right? So it sets itself up where it's gonna go into the real world. So you think that the rest of the movie is Barbie in the real world, and maybe her living there for a really long time, and then like maybe she comes back or she doesn't, right? That's like the trope. However, most of the time it's actually back in Barbie world. They were in real world and then they get left real fast. Um, I also love that moment where we see, it was really good from going from comedy to then these really serious moments with Margot, with Barbie, like seeing those visions of the kid. And I love the twist that Greta did. Greta wrote it with Noah Bomber or something, Bomb something. Um, and she did it so that, we thought it was going to be the girl that uh, Barbie was supposed to connect to, but then it turned out to be the mom. And you might think, you'd be like, well, that's like, why was that such a big deal? I think the reason that's a big deal is because it gives an angle from a different perspective that we usually don't. We're usually all about like kids and growing, and this was nice because it reminded us that adults are also always growing too. And it's nice to being like, this mom, you know, she needs the love and the care and attention. And I love that instead of being like, the kid, there's this trope where it's like the kid needs to like accept who she is, and then when that happens she'll love her mom, right? That's the normal trope. That's like what growing up is, right? I love it where it was actually flipped, and now is this like this mom being like this kid being like, mom, you're weird and you're crazy and stuff, and mom being like, yeah, I am, and her embracing that. And because her daughter sees her embracing that, then her daughter loves her more. It was something really beautiful, and I really enjoyed that because it also felt more real, right? Like her age, Barbies were connected to her. I thought Ryan Gosling was hilarious. I thought Margot Robbie was really great, and I really enjoyed it. I did think that it was a little slow when we went back in Ken World, and when Ken was just being a little bit of a man and being very, the patriarchy and all that. I thought it was interesting. I had these feelings, and I think they're valid. And you can call me a terrible person or whatever, but I did feel a little bit. It felt a little preachy. It felt a little, like all. It felt weird. It felt like men. It was weird. I get this because it's supposed to be commentary on the real world, so I get that. So I get that. Trust me, I get that. So I get that. That's why this film is a good thing. But I think the idea that they reverted back. They got mad when Kens were taking over the world, and they reverted back to Barbie, and then they like gave Ken a position, and they joked that like Ken, when it would be the same as in when women get rights in the real world. It didn't feel good, and I think that's the point, right? I think not only is it this film supposed to empower women, but it's also kind of supposed to make men feel bad, which is a hard pill to swallow as a white man, which is okay because well, honestly, I say it's okay because, right, like if you're new here, I totally understand, and this gets complicated, right? I'm talking about something kind of sensitive because I understand that there's a lot of minority issues that I don't deal with subconsciously because I'm white and I'm a male. But from my point of view, because all reviews matter, right? I'm just telling you how I perceived it, and it felt a little preachy, and I couldn't connect to it, and it felt almost like I was a problem, which is fine, but it's a hard pill to swallow, and it's hard to pill to swallow because it feels like then the target audience is very specific. So I kind of left away feeling like empowered, but also feeling like men have no hope in this world. That men are going to be reverted back to not having any power or not being special or all that stuff, which, equality and everything and is great, but I don't think you should do it at the same way of diminishing someone or a group of people. And that's just something that rubbed me the wrong way about it, but honestly, I really love Barbie, and I love that I had a message. I love that we had a moment where we catharted with Barbie. She's crying. There's a music montage at the end, and I just adored it. I also loved that they did this meta thing, and if you don't know what meta is, it means when you're in a film, when you're breaking the fourth wall, where you're kind of addressing that you're a movie. You're breaking the illusion of cinema. And there was a meta moment in this film where the narrator basically was like, Margot Robbie is like crying and she's like, I'm not beautiful. And then the narrator goes, it would be more, and she was like, trust us, it would be more believable if they didn't cast Margot Robbie as Barbie. Because she's gorgeous when she's crying, obviously. And it was really, really funny. But yeah, I really enjoyed Barbie. I really did. I'm just very tired right now. That's my mood right now. Let me know what your favorite moments were down below. I thought it was really, really good. And don't get me wrong, I think that message with the patriarchy and everything was really great. I'm just telling you my perspective, right? Because I just only know my feelings, and I think it's very good to be honest with art, right? Art's supposed to make you feel things, and yeah, so it's just something I realized that I didn't feel really great walking away as a man from that film, which I thought was kind of interesting. It felt very punchy, which is good, but also not good. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think down below. Obviously, take this with a grain of salt. It's just my opinions. Like, we all have our own, and sometimes they make sense, sometimes they don't. I'm just telling you kind of straight off my bat. And yeah, I just thought it was really well done. I gave it 4.5 stars, not 5, because like I said, I felt something, but I didn't cathartic fully. I didn't feel like I walked away having this new sense of perception on the world or anything like that, which is something I really look for in films. That rarely happens, but when that does happen, I really enjoy it. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are. If I had to say choose one or the other, I'd say definitely go see Barbie. It's more fun, it's easier to watch, it has more of a message. But if you like history, if you enjoy period pieces and, bombs, go watch Oppenheimer. That was very good. Okay, I'll see you guys later, and have a wonderful night, a wonderful day. Remember to like this video and comment and subscribe if you haven't. It helps the algorithm and it really helps this channel grow. I really don't ask much from you guys, but that is something that if you want to help support the Hive, that's the best way to support it. Always like the videos, comment, and subscribe. And I'm gonna go get some sleep before I work tomorrow, but I love you guys, and I will talk soon. Okay, bye.